Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now in Thursday Night Football, the Washington Commanders take on the Eagles at 8:15 p.m.
Oh, that's good. I love the NFC East rivalries.
That's right.
Because somebody going to cancel each other out. It don't mean nothing for us.
Nothing.
Because our season is over. But hey.
Oh, wow.
I'm lying. We still a pathway.
Shut up, man.
It's still a pathway.
Pathway to nowhere.
It's still a pathway out there for us to get to the Super Bowl.
Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, Envy, Charlamagne, and Jess here. Charlamagne, you know, y'all all right? You still Delulu? Anyways.
That's right.
Moving on. Okay, so y'all, President Biden met with President-elect Trump at the White House yesterday to discuss a peaceful transition of power. Now, before Trump arrived, Biden spoke about the state of the economy and bragged about the things his administration accomplished. Let's hear those comments from President Biden yesterday at the White House.
Not everyone has felt the progress because it takes time. We've emerged from a crisis. We have the strongest economy in the world, much more to do. The key pieces of the Invest in America include historic laws that I've signed. The historic investments in modernizing our roads and bridges, our ports, airports, public transit.
Yeah, so before his meeting with President Biden, Trump he met with House GOP leaders where he expressed his gratitude and he touted the election results. Do we have that audio? No?
I just want to thank everybody. You've been incredible. We worked with a lot of you to get you in, and you helped me, and you helped me too. We won the majority by 7.1 million. We won, which is great because Republicans aren't supposed to be winning the majority, Marjorie. You know that, right? And we won that, and we won it every way, all 7 swing states by a lot.
So this comes as NBC News is projecting the Republicans will keep control of the House. Republicans keep the House very narrowly with a small majority. The win gives President-elect Trump an easier path to enact his policies now that the Senate is also under GOP control. The GOP won the needed 218 seats to keep control, and that news broke yesterday on Wednesday. Any thoughts there?
Well, I just don't understand the White House visit. Now, granted, I'm glad it's a peaceful transition of power, but what happened to the threat of democracy talk? What happened to the fascist talk? By the way, I know I've said those things about Trump as well, but I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about his political opponents like President Biden. When they say it, it holds way more weight than me. I'm just trying to figure out how do you go from he's an existential threat to democracy to welcome back.
He was happy, too. He was happy. He was smiling. He was grinning. He was cheesing. Say cheese. He was cheesing, bro.
I'm just trying to figure out how. I understand President Biden believes in political norms, but damn.
That man is happy as hell to leave. He don't care. He want to go.
Yeah. Yep, out of here. I was going to say it's definitely giving, inside house thing. I don't know, like it's the family is fighting inside, but then the moment that somebody from the outside come in, it's like, hold on, wait. So it's giving united front on a global stage is all I'm seeing. And that's just my opinion, y'all. I ain't gonna get too much into that. But
I'm gonna stop minding white people business. That's what I'm gonna stop doing.
So the White House says the meeting lasted for 2 hours and it was substantive. Biden also congratulated Trump and shook his hands. And of course, like we just spoke about, the two showed a united front. Now, speaking at the White House press briefing, Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said the leaders covered a significant amount in the meeting, including national security, domestic policy issues, and more. Let's hear more from White House Press Secretary KJP.
It was substantive meeting, an exchange of views. They discussed important national security and domestic policy issues facing the nation and the world. We will have an orderly transition and a peaceful transition of power.
Yes, of course, this all comes as the nation's 45th president. President-elect Donald Trump is set to take office as the nation's 47th president on January 20th, Inauguration Day. So I was going to say, we're running out of time or no?
No, we have no more. No, we have no time.
We've got no more time. Okay, so the Trump administration continues to make moves, and we'll talk more about that at 7 a.m. in addition to what's going on in New York with congestion pricing. So stick around. More front page news at 7.
All right. And everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Again, 800-585-1051. Call us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Now let's get in some front page news. Now in Thursday Night Football, the Commanders take on the Eagles at 8:15. What's up, Morgan?
Ooh, that's going to be one. That's going to be a good one for the NFC East. Let's see what it do. But I'm not going to get too much into that. Let's get into this politics news, y'all. So South Dakota's John Thune is the next leader of Senate Republicans. Thune and Texas's John Cornyn faced off in a secret vote after Florida's Rick Scott was eliminated in the first round ballot for Senate Majority Leader. Now, Thune will replace Kentucky's Mitch McConnell, who is stepping aside as Republican leader. Senate Leader-elect John Thune said, "It's a new day in America, and they will support President-elect Trump in any way they can." Let's hear more from Senate Leader-elect John Thune.
It's a new day in the United States Senate, and it's a new day in America. The American people have loudly rejected the failed policies of the Biden, Harris, Schumer agenda. And this Republican team is united. We are on one team. We are excited to reclaim the majority and to get to work with our colleagues in the House to enact President Trump's agenda. We will make sure that the president and his team have the tools and the support that they need to enforce border security laws and to remove the violent criminals who are wreaking havoc in every one of our states.
Yeah, so as Trump continues to build on his administration, he is nominating Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said Gaetz is deeply gifted and a tenacious attorney. The president-elect added, "Few issues are more important than ending the partisan weaponization of the justice system." And a post on X, Gaetz said it would be an honor to serve as Attorney General. I know the caller not too long ago was talking about that, Matt Gaetz and him, well, he's had some court cases in the past. He's no stranger to those things, underage.
It's amazing to me that we just report these things like it's normal, though. Like Matt Gaetz is just a normal Attorney General appointee.
And you know what? And we're not lacking. There's so much more to report, and I don't have enough time.
Yeah, he was being investigated by the Department of Justice for sex trafficking.
Yes.
One of the allegations was that he had sex with a 17-year-old girl and paid for her to travel across state lines. I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm just saying, but it's just like, but he's the attorney general. And I'm not saying that he did these things. I'm just saying that, we report on these things like they're just normal. Like Matt Gaetz.
They are who we thought they were.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he is who people believe him to be. I'm just saying that is out there is what I'm saying.
Well, speaking of attorney generals, New Jersey Attorney General Matthew Platkin, he's letting President-elect Donald Trump know that he's prepared to protect state laws. Now, Platkin claims the incoming president has campaigned on issues that could violate people's rights, adding he's prepared to sue the Trump administration if necessary. Now, Platkin also says the United States is a nation built on laws that do not change when the presidents change. However, the Attorney General says he respects the outcome of the election and called for a peaceful transfer of power. Let's hear more from New Jersey AG Matthew Platkin.
It's not something that I wake up every day dying to do. It's not the reason why I was honored to take this job, but it is something that I am now prepared to do to protect the residents of this state. It's core to who we are as a democracy, and President Trump is now the president-elect. He won the election, and he will be president come January, and that's something that everyone must accept.
It's funny too. He said Trump. He said laws don't change when presidents change.
Yes.
Well, this president has the House, the Senate, and the Supreme Court. Probably gonna end up putting 2 more judges on the Supreme Court if Alito and Thomas retire. So Trump gonna be out there like, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this.
Laws don't change.
You think laws don't change? Okay, watch this, watch this. All right.
All right. Speaking of which, let's bring things home. Y'all already up top with New Jersey. Let's bring things home to New York. So congestion pricing, which seems to be a big deal in New York. Now, multiple outlets are reporting that New York Governor Kathy Hochul will announce the return of the controversial Manhattan toll program. The reports say tolls will be lowered from $15 to $9 to drive below 60th Street, and that all tolls under the revised program will be 40% lower than announced this summer. Now, the NTA board would have to sign off, and that would appear to just be a formality. They're also expecting Biden Transportation Department to also approve, which seems likely. Let's hear more about this from Governor Kathy Hochul.
That when inflation was escalating and New Yorkers were struggling, that $15 was just too much. I've said it over and over and over. and I'm doing the best I can to ensure that all the requirements are met, the environmental issues, congestion mitigation, and most important to me is funding for the MTA.
That's whack.
Yes.
That's whack. And the reason that's whack is because when of course, election happened, she pulled it off the table to make sure that everybody, all the Democrats were covered for election. As soon as she was put in, the elections were over, they put it back on the table. $9 is very expensive for people to come to work if they have to work in Manhattan, especially if they have to come from someplace outside of the city where they have to pay for a toll to get in. And that $9 is very disrespectful, and I think it's very high. And they're saying that they're trying to do this before Trump gets in office because they feel like Trump is going to squash this. And he should squash it because $9 for people to come to work, it just doesn't affect the people that come to work. It also affects the goods that have to come into the city as well. So if you buy bacon, egg, and cheese every day, it's probably going to go up in price. If you buy an orange juice every day, it's probably going to go up in price. That is too expensive.
I agree with Envy. Not right now, Kathy. All right, not at a time like this. Why do they think people have extra money for this? Talk about tone deaf. Inflation may be down, but everything else is too high. And what bothers me about this the most is New York City ain't fly, yo.
No.
Okay? With all the money that we spend in this city,
always say that.
it's not fly. With all the money we spend on this city for tolls and parking and all of this other stuff, it should look like Dubai.
That's right.
Or Abu Dhabi. At least Charlotte. Can New York at least look like Dallas?
Right.
Like New York ain't fly, y'all. I don't know. You know, I'm just telling you, for all the money that we spend in this city on things like this, it should look a lot better.
Absolutely.
Too many people.
Sheesh. Well, New York City Mayor Eric Adams, he also jumped into the chat. He talked about congestion pricing, which, of course, you know, you mentioned that Governor Hochul has paused now, saying the city will take a look at a new bill and hopefully will make the tax more affordable. Let's hear really quickly from Eric Adams.
People are leaving the city because it's just too expensive. And we need to find ways of ensuring that we get that affordability.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
People
echo Jaw's sentiments.
People are leaving the city because it's too expensive. So I know how to remedy that. Let's charge them extra $9 to come into the city.
It makes no sense. It really makes.
Come
no
on,
sense.
Governor Hochul. Come on, man.
That don't make no
you being
sense.
that's very tone deaf right now. Very.
All right, y'all. So that's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. Follow me on social at Morgan Media, MorganMedia. And for more news coverage, follow us at Black Information Network and visit at us at binnews.com. Download that free iHeartRadio app. Yeah. Have a great day.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.